And I recall from some of the cases that I handled that one of the features is pain that is seemingly out of proportion to the underlying injury. So like you mentioned, there might be something rolled over the foot, and then months later we have this patient still complaining of severe pain when you would think, the underlying condition has resolved. So that creates a special challenge because it bears upon the plaintiff's credibility.
Exactly, and I think that's going in the back of the mind of the physicians sometimes that are not familiar with RSD, and also the claims adjusters and other people involved in this. But you mentioned it before, pain results from just the breeze blowing over the affected body part. And I've heard several people talk about that.
Right.
They can't take a washcloth, and just rub it over it.
Right, or even maybe wear long sleeves if it's affecting their wrist area.
Socks and things like that. Yeah, it's just a hypersensitivity, I guess is the best way to call it, to that affected area. And there's some other symptoms involved in that too that are really unusual. The loss of hair growth, I think, is something that, I don't know if anybody can explain why that occurs, but it's actually pretty common with RSD. One of the things I've found here lately is that nail growth can be affected by it. And that's difficult to determine in a female because most females get their toenails trimmed and, go to manicures and it's interesting to talk to some of the doctors sometimes. Did you check for that? Well, no, they've gone to get a pedicure and they've had a manicure. So that's actually a symptom that's maybe hard to deduct sometimes.
Right.
But also change in temperature of the skin. Affected body parts will generally have a different temperature than non-affected body parts. And the skin becomes mottled almost like a leopard pattern I've heard before. Or red edema, some of that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of very weird symptoms. And when I start talking to a client that might have it, I say, I'm going to ask you a bunch of weird questions here. So bear with me, and we'll go through the list. And a lot of times they'll have probably 7 or 8 of those problems, and the doctor hasn't even diagnosed it yet.
Is there any